Hello everyone, welcome to today's AI Masterclass presented by Nehemiah STEM Research. My name is Muhwezi Donald Hastings, and today I'll be taking you through an AI-powered automated workflow with Make.com, Google Forms, and Google Sheets, as well as OpenAI or ChatGPT to power our completion and the workflow. So for today's scenario, we're going to create a scenario where a company, let's say the company has a form where they are they receive let's say like leads for customers, and this company is a tech company that provides a number of tech solutions. So there will be the workflow is they receive information from their Google form where their customers fill in the form, and then this workflow has a trigger where whenever that form is submitted, the Google Sheets will get a trigger that new information has been passed, and then from there it passes that data into the OpenAI module, which then generates a summary, and then that summary is then passed on into their Google Sheets where their CRM is saved. So the tools we're going to use are Google Sheets. We'll be using a trigger that searches the rows whenever new information is entered in, and then an OpenAI module which receives that information from the Google Sheets and then generates a summary, and then from that summary we pass that information and update the Google Sheets. So let me just create a sample form here. I'm going to call it lead captures. Call this full name. It's a short answer. Let's say this is their email. Short answer. Add another field and say what can we do for you. Set this as a paragraph. I'll make all these fields to be required because we need all this information. Okay. In the responses tab, we'll have to link it to Sheets, and we'll create a new one. So it will redirect us to Google Sheets so it has created the Google Sheets. This is where any information that our customers put into this form and they submit, it will be saved into this Google Sheet. So this Google Sheet is what we're going to be using in our scenario. So we have a form. I can publish it. And let's copy this. So this is how we'll be filling in the information, which will then be saved here. And then the information that is saved here, whenever a new lead or customer fills in this information, the trigger will be set. So now let's set up our trigger. I'm going to use Google Sheets, and the trigger is to watch new rows, watch when a new row is added. And we have to connect to that exact Google Sheet. So in the connection field, when you click add, you can see here there's the option to sign in with Google, and then since I'm already signed in, but you can just click this, search by path, my drive, or shared with me, and then choose the file. It will load all the sheets that are in my Google Drive, so I can search here. And I look for this company lead captures. It's this one. I choose the sheet name. There's only one sheet so far, so it's that. Does the table contain headers? Yes, it does. We're stopping on D. But because of what we're going to generate in this workflow, I'm going to need to add a new column. I'll call it AI summary. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. Put E1.
Mr. Marco has requested me for me to show
Click
him
save.
on the platform which you are not on.
And then from where to choose where to start, you can select all and then click save. So we've set up a trigger. What this trigger is doing is that it's watching for any information that will be added into this sheet. So that's what it's waiting for. And right now it's empty because we haven't filled in we haven't passed any data into our Google form. where our customers will be passing in their information. So I can then add the OpenAI module to create a completion. Again, just to emphasize again, you need to set up a connection and you need to add your API key. You can choose any name for the connection name. In the field for API key, you can click here. This is where you find your OpenAI key. So be required to log in.
Basically, this is it. So you have not done before. How do you ask for something?
Yeah. So it redirects you to where you can create a key from. And so this is where you create your secret key or API key from. What they're asking for here, it's the same as secret key. So you add a name, which is optional, and then the projects. When you click create secret key, it will create it for you, and then you can copy it and paste it here. The organization ID, that one, again, it's not required because you can see it doesn't have this red asterisk like the API key. The most important part is the key. And then the organization ID, which is not so important, but you can add it as well. And where you can find that is you click that link and you find your organization ID here. So for any completion you need to create, whether it's in make.com or any other platform where you will be required to use your AI agent or model or module, you have to use some money because you're using tokens. So when you click billing, this is my current credit score. So you click add credit to balance, and then you add any amount. So you can see there's an amount between $5 and $39. You add your payment method and you click continue. So all those tokens, they charge you, and it's not a monthly billing platform. This is a pay as you go. So you just put the money there and it will stay there as long as the more times you keep using your agent wherever it's stationed. Now like here, it's going to be here. Every time it's used, tokens will be used. That's the field you're seeing here, the completion tokens. So the tokens, whenever tokens are used, my credit score will be reducing. So it's not a monthly, it will just be there, and then it will keep reducing the number of times you call your agent. So you click save, you wait for that to load. The method was already selected when we were setting up the module, and then we have to choose a model. So ChatGPT has all these models. I'm going to go with the latest. And then I'll just reduce this number of tokens because there are quite many. I can set it to a lower number like 300. And then now we have to map the data that's passed from the Google Sheets telling this AI module what to do with that information that it will receive from there. Also, it's basically like it's a prompt, and that prompt will be training the AI agent what to do with that information. So when you click message, you set the role to user and then content. So this is where we want it to focus on, because when our customers enter their information and and they are telling us what they want us to do for them, we want that AI agent to summarize with to analyze that message and then summarize their needs and add a score or urgency of the need of the customer. I'll just show you how to do that. So this is where now I'll be training the agent from, or telling it what to do with this. So I'll tell it you are a CRM assistant. Analyze the customer's message. So I'd already written okay. So I'm telling it that it's a CRM assistant. I want it to analyze the customer's message and return a short summary and a priority score. So these are the scores that I've given it that it should use, the score parameters it should use. I'm telling it to base it on the urgency of the customer's message. So we need to tell it what the customer's message is as well. So right now all this is like training the AI agent, telling it what it is and what it's going to do. So we need to tell it what the customer's message is. So I can just map that and tell it this is the customer's message, like this. So the customer's message will be from this column here, and I can leave that as that and then click save. So we have a trigger, an AI agent that has been trained with a prompt. Its job is to analyze the customer's message that is passed from this form saved in this sheet. The trigger watches for any new information from that sheet, passes that into here, and then the agent will receive the information from the what can I do for you column, generate a summary and urgency and non-urgency, or a score basing on the urgency of the message, and then now we need to pass that information back into the sheet. This is so the AI agent is only going to be filling in this cell. So these other cells or columns or rows will be filled from this form. Okay. So now the other module we need to add now is from getting what's created or generated from here and adding it into the Google Sheet. So we click this, add another module, and Google Sheets. So we need to choose the action. The action right now that we're doing is we're not adding a row, but we're updating a row. And again, set up the connection. It's the same. We have to choose the file again. So we have to make sure it's the same Google Sheet. Contain headers, so the run number. To select the row number, you go to the trigger module, the bundles, and then you select this. The table contain headers, yes. The timestamp, we click that and then we go to the calendar tab. So want to set it to now, so we have to set it to the current date and time. So the only row, like I said, or yeah, the row or column that or cell that we're going to be filling is the AI summary, what is being generated from the AI module. So we come and select this. Since these will be filled from the form, we go back to this tab, go to the bundles from the OpenAI or ChatGPT module, expand choices, expand message, and then choose content. After that, we can save. So this is our scenario right now, and we have the trigger, the swatches for any new row updates. The agent is trained as a CRM assistant to analyze the customer's message and summarize their needs, and then set a score. The score, we give any parameters of a hot, so it could be a hot lead, a warm lead, or a cold one. And then I'll save this. So if I click run once, nothing is returned because again the sheets are empty. So let's fill in the form with some sample data. I created a few examples here, so I'll just copy this information and fill in the form, and then we'll see if it's doing what we've trained, or yes, of what if it's what we've trained it to do. So we have a customer called Sarah Twine. She's looking for help in setting up an online store for her cosmetics business before the end of the week. So there's sort of an urgency here. She says she needs assistance with payments, design, and product uploads. So let's submit that form. And we can click run once again. So we have a bunch of bundles. Yeah, so it watched the rows. Our agent, this is the summary it has returned. So score is hot, and so yeah, it filled it in the right. So we can just go to this and check. And as you can see, our Google Sheet has been updated. I can just expand this. Right, so our workflow is working now automatically. So we've simplified a customer's CRM or customer resource manager, which is a combination of a Google form and a Google Sheet, but the workflow is with make.com, and we've only used 3 modules. So let's fill in this other form and see if it will fill in the next rows. So maybe if you're wondering why or how it can be set to work automatically so that I don't have to click run once every now and then. So if I click here, for this sort of workflow where there are Google Sheets involved, these are the only options that we are given. I think it's because I'm using a free account. So maybe if I pay for, if I upgrade my plan from free, I'll be able to set it to run every time new information is sent in. So as you can see, there's a regular intervals, then you can set it to every day, such that even when people, let's say fill in, like 5 people fill in a day, it will get all that information, yeah. And then if I set it to at regular intervals, they've given us a platform where we can change, like every 15 minutes or less. So I can maybe set this to 2. Oh, okay, so the minimum value is 15. Okay, so for just testing purposes for today, for the lesson, I'll leave it at that, and then click save.
Excuse me,
So let's fill in the form again with new information. So this is a warm lead. submit. And you can click run once again. Successful completion on our side of the scenario. Let's check if it's passing that information in the required. So yeah, it's doing it as required. So as you can see, we've taken how many minutes now? About 30. And we didn't code anything. And so even if you don't have coding skills, you can automate a workflow like this. And there's many other ways we can tweak this. Maybe we could say send an email or a notification to the person who has sent this or who has filled the form, or we could tell this to do more with that information that it receives from the Google Sheets. Yeah. Okay, let me just try maybe like putting more than one or passing more than one sample data into this form, and then we'll see if it will generate both, or let's say let me try with like three customers. So we've currently submitted 3 more customers, but they do not have AI summaries, right? So if you click run once, it has generated 2. Let's see. So it hasn't generated the third one. So you're probably wondering why. And I can show you where the issue is. If we click our trigger, we set a limit to 2. That's why it only generated 2 at a go. That is where the issue lies. So if I increase this to, let's say, 10, then it will generate 2 at a go. And if I click save and then run once again, yeah, and then yeah, that's when now it will put in the latest customers summary. So this is where you tweak the scenario to work on many more. Like the bulb icon is here explaining the maximum number of results to be worked with during one execution cycle. So right now the limit is set to 2. So if I increase it to 3, 4, 5, that means if 5 customers send in their form submissions and this spreadsheet is filled but they don't have AI summaries, and then when the interval or when the scenario runs, which is currently set to every 15 minutes, excuse me, then it will process 5 at a go or 5 at a time. So right now it's set to 2. So yeah, I hope this lesson was helpful. So we've built a workflow for a company that has a CRM. It's working with Google Forms. So they share this link with their leads. The customers fill in this information, their names, their emails, what they need. What is saved in the sheet at the moment of submission is their full name, their email, and what they need. But our sheet also has an AI summary. So this is where this module here is working or is only looking for. That's where the information this AI agent generates is passed into. So you have a scenario now where you have a sheet. So you can have a team that keeps checking on this and they have a priority score. So now they can work on certain clients basing on the priority score. If it's hot, that means it's urgent. If it's warm, not so urgent. If it's cold, they can take their time with it. Yeah. So I guess that's where we can end today's lesson. We have lessons every Friday. This same channel will be having a live stream on the same channel.